on what's going on in the news, and there certainly have been a number of things that have gone on in the news that I think should interest you personally. Let's start with the health care bill. Now, I'm not talking about the health care bill to make a political commentary. Now, that's not the purpose of this YouTube. I'm not here to make a political commentary on the health care bill, because both Democrats and Republicans have been pushing for what I'm talking about in just a moment for many, many years. Within the language of the health care bill is a law that has been passed that essentially demands that you and I get a microchip implant in our bodies. In other words, in the Health Care Act. Now, of course, our senators and congressmen who did no reading whatsoever, it appears, about the health care legislation didn't bother to look at this very important piece of legislation within the health care bill. You get a microchip implant. Now, supposedly, this microchip implant, and we're talking about from birth to death, will be put in the human body beginning approximately in 2013. So here we are in America, and I've written about this in a brand new book called Are You Ready for the Microchip? I've talked about the microchip implant, and it's no longer a far away idea. You are going to be injected with a microchip implant, and essentially what it is we have coming soon what's called the National ID Act, which both the Democrats and the Republicans have been pushing. George Bush pushed forward aggressively for a long time. Now, this means that in a certain period of time, every American citizen will be required to have a driver's license that has a microchip in it with an RFID transmitter. So it won't be like a normal driver's license, it will be a microchip driver's license. Now, in the state of Washington, they already have this. They call it the enhanced driver's license. If you don't believe me, you can go to the state of Washington website where they brag about it openly. And the people in the state of Washington have this enhanced driver's license, which means there's an RFID radio transmitter and a microchip in every single one of their licenses. So if, for example, they're driving by a police car, or if they're entering a church, or if they're attending a political rally, or whatever it is, a block away, somebody with a computer instrument would know you were walking into that building, because your social security number, your name, your address, your birth, your sex, your age, perhaps your political viewpoint, certainly your medical history, and all kinds of secret information will be transmitted anywhere you go. So every American will have this national ID with a RFID transmitter and microchip. But you see, the next step, because you can steal these cards and you can sell the cards, the next step, beginning in 2013, there's an evolution, if you will, from the driver's license with the microchip on it to now the human body becomes the receptacle for the microchip implant with the RFID transmitter. So you become a walking ID card, you become a walking RFID transmitter, transmitting information wherever you go, because you now have a microchip or a biochip implant embedded in your body, and that is a matter of law, and it was put in through the health care legislation. But you didn't know it because, you know, you were watching your favorite network or The Simpsons or whatever. But it's law. And in 2013, if you have a baby that year, they will have a microchip implant embedded in them. Now, we have a third scenario going on. We have the what's happening in Arizona with immigration. Now, wherever you stand on this amnesty issue or the immigration issue, wherever you stand on the issue, whether you're for amnesty or whether you're against amnesty, and it's all coming to a boiling point in Arizona, the solution proposed should be of grave concern to those that are pro-amnesty and to those who are against amnesty. To those who are Democrats, to those that are liberals, it should concern both of them. And in fact, it does concern conservative legal defense, constitutional defense organizations, and it concerns liberal ones like the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU. They are proposing what's called a biochip identification card. A biochip identification, or excuse me, a biometric identification card. And so the idea is that you will have a biometric identification card. So if you're in Arizona or wherever else they're going to distribute this biometric identification card, it has a microchip implant in it and an RFID transmitter. So in effect, you have a microchip implant that you're now forced to carry with you wherever you go, because that is the solution that is proposed by both the conservatives and the liberals in our government. The law will state, and it's being proposed right now as we speak, that you must carry with you at all times a biometric identification card. Well, what is that? That puts us into a police state. That's the kind of stuff that you saw in those old German movies when the Nazis would stop somebody in a train stop and say, "Where are your papers, please?" You can get more information about this on my website, paulmcguire.com. I'm Paul McGuire.